Now, as a clinical canine behaviourist, I work with dogs displaying a lot of problem behaviours, and some of those problem behaviours include them biting people, other animals, and sometimes attempting to bite me during a session. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the dog breeds that I have seen try to bite me the most as a canine professional. So when I was writing this list, I was trying to work out, is it the dogs that have tried to bite me the most? Is it the dogs whose bite attempts have been the most serious? And for me, when it's come to the last few years of dogs that have tried to bite me most by volume and dogs whose bite attempts have been the most serious, the same dog tops the list, and that has been the XL Bully. Now, I know that for some people that might upset them, and with the XL Bully ban here in the UK, it's a very controversial topic with lots of thoughts and opinions. But as somebody who works with dogs displaying the worst behaviours imaginable, without a shadow of a doubt, by a long way, the most serious dogs I've worked with in the last few years have been the XL Bully. Now, does that mean that all XL Bullies are bad? No, it doesn't at all. In fact, I have met a couple of very, very sweet XL Bullies. And even the XL Bullies that have tried to bite me, even though they have been with insane levels of intent, most of them have been quite sweet dogs. And they're sweet dogs until they're not. And when they're not, it's rarely a warning, and it's rarely a please go away from me type bite. It's a I want to kill you type attack. And that for me is why they've been cropping up in the news over and over again. Now, it's a shame because the original purpose behind the American Bully breeds of various sizes I thought was a wonderful idea, was a dog that has the looks of the Pit Bull Terrier without all of the extreme behaviours and liability risks. Now, I can't prove this, and I've heard through the grapevine from many friends in the industry and people that know some of the breeders in the industry that for the XL Bully in particular, a lot of serious pit bull has been bred back into them to increase the levels of aggression in certain bloodlines. Again, it's hearsay, take that with a pinch of salt, but it does make sense in terms of my suspicions when I've been seeing some of the extremely violent dogs that I've worked with over the past couple of years. So the next breed on this list has to be the Siberian Husky. Now, the Siberian Husky is a breed that I've never kept secret about my lack of enjoyment of working with them, and that is coming from a place of I owned one for many, many years. It was one of the first dogs I ever rescued and rehabilitated was a Siberian Husky, and that process taught me a lot, because if you can do it with a Husky, you can do it with most breeds. They are, in my opinion, one of the most challenging dogs to train, and I often say that they're way more like cats than they are dogs. They are also drama queens, do not seek handler instruction well at all, and in my experience are very prone to something that we refer to in the industry as redirection. If you ever have to challenge a Siberian Husky, interrupt a bad decision, it's very common for them to redirect and to pop at the handler. The problem is if they find that that works, like you're trying to stop them doing something and they turn around and snap at you and you go, oh, whoa, 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 and you back off, and in their mind that works, that bakes in as a habit very, very quickly. And I've found that it's something that seems to be more common with Siberian Huskies than many other breeds. I also find that they're unpredictable, and the unpredictability is often the most dangerous. Even if they're not the biggest breed, even if the severity of their bites isn't the most serious, when it's unpredictable, that, in my experience and my opinion, is often when it's more dangerous. If I've got a huge intact male Rottweiler in that I know is going to try and bite me, and I know what the trigger will be to try and bite me, then I can put safety precautions in place and I'm going into that situation prepared. Siberian Huskies, again, tend to be the opposite, which catches you by surprise, which then can lead to incidents and accidents. Now, I cannot do a video about dogs that have tried to bite me a lot and not include the Jack Russell Terrier. Jack Russells are a breed that are oddly very close to my heart, and they're very close to my heart because I grew up with them as a kid, and a lot of my childhood memories around dogs are a lot of issues with our Jack Russell Terriers. Now, as I got older and really started to get into dog training and canine behaviour, it was those Jack Russells that naturally, as anybody interested in these things, start to kind of practice on and work with and start to have success with. So again, I have a very interesting relationship with Jack Russells. All those childhood memories to one side, and we fast forward the decades to where we are today. Jack Russells are one of those breeds that are renowned for being nippy, a little bit bitey. I never really work with Jack Russells that have very, very serious bite histories, which opens up an interesting conversation or topic. And that is the severity of the bite from a dog like a Jack Russell Terrier not taken as seriously because the intent behind the bite is different, or is it simply just that the size of the dog means that that severity is different? I'll leave you with that question for you to ponder, as that is a debate that ask 10 different people and you'll get 10 different answers. But yes, I do see Jack Russells with bite histories to humans, and it makes sense with those terrier lineages and what it was that they were bred for. Now again, you have to remember, guys, that all dogs are capable of biting you, whether that is German Shepherds or whether it's family favourites like the Labrador Retriever. It all comes down to your ability to train the breed that you have to be safe, reliable canine companion. If you're getting a puppy, the best way that you can do that is by checking out my Perfect Puppy course. And if you've got an adult dog that you are struggling with, then check out my Perfect Canine Companion course. Both of those courses have helped hundreds of thousands of people all around the world be able to achieve their perfect canine companions. And to thank you for supporting the channel, there's a special discount if you click on the link in the description box below. So again, check out that link in the description box below. The Perfect Puppy course and the Perfect Canine Companion course is how you achieve your perfect canine companion regardless of the breed. Now the next breed that I have to talk about when it comes to the breeds that have tried to bite me most is the Shar Pei. Now a lot of people are drawn to Shar Peis because of the way that they look, and I would argue that actually the vast majority of people that have a Shar Pei have them predominantly because of the way that they look. I have to be completely honest, there's not a ton of redeeming qualities or factors to the Shar Pei that would ever draw me to them. Their trainability, their friendliness with family, their friendliness with strangers, any of their working capacities, there's just not many high scoring elements of the Shar Pei. However, one of the lowest scoring elements is their not just likelihood to bite, but frankly their willingness to do so. Over the years, again, as any professional in the dog training or canine behaviour space will detest, for people that actually are working with dogs with severe behaviour problems regularly, there are just certain breeds that make you sigh when you know you're going to work with one, and a Shar Pei is going to be one of those ones for me. If I have a Shar Pei with a bite history, I know that's going to be a serious case. A German Shepherd that has a bite history, I go into that case knowing that, well, actually, there are many variables that could be affecting this case here, and I'm going to need to see it, and I'm going to go into that case very confident that there's going to be huge likelihood of long-term success. Frankly, I can't say the same thing about the Shar Pei. It's certainly not that I write off those cases. Both breeds would get the same level of commitment and dedication from my part, but just from my experience, and there may be professionals out there that disagree with me, I know for a fact many of the professionals that I'm friends with, work with, consider some of the best in the industry, also share this interesting likelihood or severity of bites coming from Shar Peis. It's one of the things that we talk about regularly. So if you're drawn to them because of the way that they look, I would challenge you to not ever make your decision on what dog breed is good for you when it comes to their looks. And if you are drawn to dogs for the way that they look, I would definitely have the Shar Pei at the very bottom of the list. So the next breed that I have to include in this video is the German Shepherd. Now, the good thing is at least that proves that this video isn't biased, because this German Shepherd is my German Shepherd. Now, this German Shepherd has never tried to bite me nor anybody else, and is a reflection of what a German Shepherd should be when they're trained right from the get-go and sourced from a very good quality breeder that's breeding them for a good temperament. However, as a behaviourist, I have to be honest and say that I do regularly get requests to work with German Shepherds and German Shepherds with a bite history. What I will say though is that it's actually fairly rare for them to be what I would class as serious or severe bite cases. They tend to be what I would reference as a more warning bite, or the type of bite that's designed to kind of push people away, scare people away. Does that excuse the bite whatsoever? Of course not. All bites are incredibly serious, but the reality is there is a difference between a nip that's designed to drive an intruder away, and the kind of bite that is designed to intend to kill somebody. German Shepherds tend to be the former in my experience. What doesn't change, however, is that they are a breed that tends to be a little bit more prone to things like excessive barking, excessive reactivity, and then at times, those types of biting behaviors. So yes, they can be one of the best dog breeds on the planet, but without adequate, proper training delivered from a place of loving leadership on the owner's part, they can also be a dog that displays a lot of problem behaviors. Now remember guys, all dogs are capable of biting people. Yes, I do believe that some might be more prone to it than others, but the reality is that all dogs need training regardless of their breed if you want them to be safe, happy, content and reliable canine companions. And remember, if you want more help with that, I've got a whole suite of courses designed to help you achieve exactly that with a special discount that you can check out when you click the link in the description box below. The Perfect Puppy course will guarantee you get it right first time round without all of the headaches, and my Perfect Canine Companion course will allow you to flip the script and fix any problems that you might be dealing with your existing dog. Again, links are in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.